We're at the Nebraska State Fair in Grand Island, talking now with Barb Kliment, Executive Director of the Nebraska Sorghum Producers Association. We are in the Raising Nebraska building, and what a great opportunity to share the story of agriculture.
This is a magnificent event. I, in fact, had the opportunity yesterday morning to debut the new cooking facilities here in the Nebraska building, and it is absolutely state-of-the-art. And as a cooking demonstrator at the fair, I feel like I've died and gone to heaven. It's just magnificent.
It works so great. You can even get bigger crowds than what we've seen in the past, and even more interactive. It just seems so much more friendly. You're not up above on a stage somewhere, and everybody can interact so well.
Exactly, and they've got television cameras in there, so we can zoom in. They can see what we're cooking. They can pull back, and we can be more interactive. They haven't overlooked a thing in putting this together. They've done a wonderful job.
Now, when we think about cooking with sorghum, you had some interesting dishes. Tell about what you're sharing with the people here.
Well, yesterday morning we started out with Abel skewers, and a lot of people go, Abel what? And basically that is a puffed Danish pancake. And sorghum is an ancient grain, so I figured I'll bring in my antique cooking pan, and we'll make an old-time family favorite. And so we made the puffed Danish pancakes, and they come out perfectly round. They look like a tennis ball, and people just absolutely love them. It was kind of an unusual recipe, but people liked them, and they were made gluten-free with sorghum flour. And in the afternoon, we made a sorghum pilaf with Brussels sprouts, bacon, and pine nuts. And everybody goes, I don't like Brussels sprouts. I said, it's the sorghum that makes it. And they loved it. People loved it. Crowds have been huge.
All right, we're here in this building. You know, it's a great opportunity, as we said, to talk about agriculture, but every commodity is featured, and so I know the sorghum world continues to fight for acres, continues to make sure that people realize, especially when we deal with water issues, Barb, that sorghum is very much water friendly.
It is indeed, and like you said, we struggle to hang on to acres, and part of that challenge comes from the irrigated acres here in the state. However, there are some parts of the state where they are over-appropriated on irrigated acres, and so I think that there's going to be the day come when they're looking for more water resourceful crops so that they can meet those challenges in terms of the over-appropriations in those areas. And sorghum is one of those crops. It's more water use efficient, and it does very well. The other thing is with the growth of sorghum in the food industry, growing interest there, and we've got amazingly large international demand from China. I think that's one of the reasons that we're seeing the price difference between corn and sorghum. That basis is narrowed considerably, and that's due in large part to strong international demand.
Folks who want to know more about sorghum or see it up close and personal, yet again this year you've got some field days coming up. Tell us about those.
We have field days the 1st and 2nd of September. Excuse me, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of September. The 3rd we're going to be in Trenton at Mike Baker's farm, and on the 4th we'll be in Sterling, Nebraska, down in southeast Nebraska on the Jim Erickson farm. And then the 16th, 17th, and 18th of September are a series of, there's actually 5 or 6 locations in the central part of Nebraska, in and around the Ravenna area. We're working in collaboration with Abengoa Bioenergy, and again, these are sorghum demonstration plots to give producers an opportunity to get into the field, look at the hybrids that are there, compare their field performance for themselves, and learn a little bit more about growing sorghum.
What we're saying is the sorghum in the countryside looks really good.
It looks pretty good. In fact, they increased the average national average production per acre considerably over last year, so we're pretty excited to see that. Nebraska, I think they've got us pegged at about 88 bushels per acre average. That's not the record high, but I'm hearing numbers of over 100 bushel, 120, 130, and of course through our national organization, they've actually got a sorghum challenge to producers that can produce extreme yields, and there's some pretty fantastic prizes for any producer that can produce sorghum over 250 bushels per acre. They say it can be done, so the challenge is out there to producers to show us that it can happen.
Well, Barb, good luck on the run of the State Fair, and good luck with the sorghum.
Thanks so much. Appreciate you being here.
Barb Kliment, who's Executive Director of the Nebraska Sorghum Producers Association. In Grand Island at the State Fair for Ag View, I'm Ken Rahjes.